Hello, this is Kate from Daily Tarot Girl, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And my cat Merlina, as soon as I set my camera up, she came and just like plunked herself right down in front of the camera. So the deck I'm going to be reading with today is the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Bodirsky. It's kind of a spooky, kind of cute Halloween-y deck, and I was sort of in a Halloween-y mood. So I thought that I would read with this deck today. All right, so I'm just going to shuffle the cards. And before I dive into the reading, I just want to let you know that I am teaching a 2-hour workshop this Sunday. So on Sunday, October 20th. And it's a workshop on how to develop the psychic skill of clairvoyancy. So if you're interested, I'm going to put the sign up link just below this video if you want to check it out. It's a 2-hour live workshop. You also get a replay and a really fun workbook as well. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, so first card is for the beginning of the week. And here we have the Magician. I'm just going to close my blinds and see if that makes things a little better. My intention, I should have said this, my intention, did that help or did that make it worse? I don't know. Okay. My intention with this reading is just to get an overview of the week ahead and to see what kinds of energies and opportunities will be coming up for us this week. So we have the Magician for the beginning of the week. So Monday, Tuesday-ish, we have the Magician. Now, the Magician is number 1 in the major arcana, and so it's kind of fun to start with a number 1. It's just like when we get an ace at the beginning of the week. It's fun to start with that number 1 at the beginning of the week. The Magician is a powerful card, and it can be about manifesting, can be about making things happen. It's also, I would say, sometimes a card of seduction, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's a good card. I love the Magician. The Magician is here to remind you that you have the power to create things. You may not have control over everything, but you have this amazing creative power at your fingertips. And so I'm just looking at this particular Magician card. I'll bring it in closer so you can see it more detailed. So this Magician, he's got some funny little electric helmet on. He's got a beaker. And so this is the thing with the Magician. If you look at the 4 symbols, he has the beaker symbolizing cups, water. The wand is symbolizing fire, energy. The pentacle symbolizing the physical suit, money, the body, earth, and I'm trying to think what that other little thing is. Is it a knife? It's supposed to represent swords, I think. And swords is the suit of air. And so what that represents, those 4 symbols, it's those 4 elements. And I like to say with the Magician that his secret to creating things and his secret to manifesting things and making things happen is alignment and having all 4 of those things in alignment. So if we think of the element of earth, that is the physical thing. So this could be like taking physical action in the real world, in the physical world. And then the suit of cups, feeling emotions, having your feelings in line with your actions. And then we have swords, which is air, the mind, having your thoughts in alignment. And then wands is energy, having your energy in alignment. So if you're trying to create something, if you're trying to manifest something and you want it to go a little faster, a little more smoothly, ask yourself, are my actions, feelings, thoughts, and energy all on the same page? Are all of these things in alignment? Okay. Oh, and I did say I was going to talk about the Magician symbolizing seduction. So the dark side of the Magician is that the Magician can symbolize a powerful seductive figure. So think like a cult leader or even a celebrity that basically casts an illusion. So they make you think, they make you believe something that maybe is not really true. Or they make you see them like they present themselves in this sort of light when maybe the opposite is actually true, but they cast a spell over their audience. So that's kind of the dark side of the magician. So sometimes when the magician comes up, it will say, hey, you wanna pay attention, you wanna be alert, and look out for figures and characters that are sort of trying to cast a spell and trying to kind of seduce. Okay, let's have a look at the middle of the week. So here we have the devil. And now this is interesting because the devil is exactly what I just said about the magician, about, seducing and casting a spell and like creating an illusion. That's also what the devil is about. So this is getting juicy now. So the devil is also, Marlena, come here. The sun just started to come out as I was setting up for this video, and whenever it's sunny out, she wants to go out, but I don't like letting her outside unsupervised because there's lots of traffic and stuff, so I like to accompany her, so she's gonna have to wait till I'm done this video. So the devil, and here we see this devil creature, and he's got a bottle of something, and often the devil will show things like alcohol, like booze, gambling. The devil is associated with addictions. And whenever the devil shows up in a reading, it's to draw your attention to some sort of pattern, habit, or cycle or addiction that you're in that isn't serving you. So instead of helping you move forward, it's keeping you stuck and keeping you kind of spinning your wheels and going around and around and around. And this might be like a habit or something that you started as a way to soothe yourself or to deal with stress. But now it's become a problem. It's just kind of keeping you stuck. And so the devil says, hey, pay attention to that. But also when the devil shows up, it's because you're ready for more freedom. You're ready to step out of those old habits and old patterns that are kind of keeping you going around and around instead of moving forward. I want to talk about the seductive quality of the devil because I kind of talked a little bit about the seductive quality of the magician. And with the devil can be a real trickster character. Think of how the devil is represented in movies. He is kind of seductive. He's a trickster. He's a con man. And he seduces you or tricks you into making a deal with him. And it's that seductive quality that is also inherent in our addictions, whether that's an addiction to like a substance or an activity. It has this sort of seductive quality. So being aware of that, and maybe even just asking yourself as you move through this week, be hyper vigilant and ask yourself, how am I being seduced throughout this week? What things in my life right now have this kind of seductive pull, something that's kind of pulling me in, but isn't really all that healthy or good for me overall? Okay, let's look at the last card. This is for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so we have 5 of Wands for the end of the week. And let's just, let's zoom in a little bit on these cards. Okay, so we got 5 of Wands. Now 5 of Wands, actually this is actually a very harmonious looking 5 of Wands. So normally 5 of Wands represents kind of like squabbling, arguments, fights, not seeing eye to eye. It's kind of a chaotic energy. It's a little bit of a disharmonious kind of energy. It's like you're having to collaborate with a bunch of people and they all want to do different things and no one's listening to anyone. It's that kind of an energy. But as I'm looking at this card, it doesn't really look like these little owl figures are arguing or fighting. They're kind of clashing. They have their horns and they're kind of clashing them together a little bit. But to me, it looks like they're kind of putting their heads together and trying to find some sort of a a solution. So the message I get here is that you may find yourself in situations this week where it feels like you're fighting with someone, you're arguing, you're fighting to be heard, and it feels like you're never going to get on the same page with them, whether this is with family, at work, or whatever, in your relationship. But the message of the Five of Wands is that you're actually much closer to figuring things out and coming to some sort of an agreement, some sort of a truce than you realize. Okay, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about that. To me, it feels like, okay, one thing I want to say, Five of Wands can symbolize outer conflict or it can symbolize inner conflict. So outer conflict would be what I just described, like fighting or arguing with, someone at work or a family member. Whereas inner conflict would be feeling conflicted on the inside about something and having the different parts of yourself or your different competing needs are kind of battling it out. So in light of the other cards, it feels like beginning of the week, there's a lot of creative energy here. There's a lot of creative energy. You may find yourself kind of figuring things out and having some aha moments, some light bulb moments at the beginning of the week. And then moving into the middle of the week with the Devil, you're kind of prone, I think, to getting back into old habits or old patterns. So it's going to take some vigilance to not kind of get sucked in. And there's almost like I've talked about how the Magician and the Devil were kind of similar in that they're both kind of seducers, but they're also very different in that the Magician is this bright, creative kind of energy. It's very optimistic, very efficient, inspired, whereas the Devil is more kind of chaotic. Look what's happening in the background. There's like buildings on fire. There's all kinds of crap. And so there's this sort of, it's a different energy to the Magician. Let's just put it that way. And so it feels like these are two energies that you might come up against this week, is the feeling of being creatively inspired, having ideas, wanting to create things, wanting to get things done. And then the energy of the Devil, wanting to, get back into some sort of addictive cycle or habit or pattern out of the need for comfort. And then this is going to cause a little bit of inner conflict. So that's how I kind of read that card. So I've kind of given you a few different ways of seeing these cards. One thing that's interesting though, 1 and added to 5, putting these two together makes 15. So that's kind of interesting. Number 15 is in the middle, but if you split that number apart, we have 1 and 5. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so let me know what you think of this reading. If you have other ideas, if you noticed other things that you want to point out, feel free to share in the comment section. Should be a very interesting week. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. And again, I'm teaching my clairvoyant workshop on Sunday. I'll put the link below this video if you want to check it out. And have an excellent week, and thanks again for watching.